So what you're saying is it's been an honor and a privilege, and you're basically the success is all down to yourself. Okay, cool. I'm glad we covered that in great. See, this is the thing. This is why I think you're so interesting from that perspective, because I think, again, intrinsic to football, everyone's quick to take credit, and everybody is quick to relinquish any responsibility or any negativity once someone comes in swinging the hat saying, right, who's responsible for this relegation? And it's the same almost in football journalism, where it's a case of Fabrizio Romano, I think, had this problem the other day with the Cucurella transfer. But fans were going after him because he hadn't signed for Chelsea, and he'd said something to the effect of, "It's basically a done deal. What we're still waiting on the final details." See, you're wrong. You're wrong. You should quit. And it's like, dude, number one, how many transfers has he ever reported on? 50,000, 100,000 by this point. He's basically associated with everyone.
Right? When is
do you know what? Do you know what? He must. Conspiracy theory time, I say he tweets out a bunch of transfers, but he pre-times and dates them. And then when he wakes up in the morning, by the time the news cycle has had time to perpetuate and the clubs have gone, do you know what, that wouldn't be a bad idea. Do you reckon he's available? And they make the phone call so he can report it in the next morning, because he just knows. He's playing 5D chess while everyone else is trying to play Tetris. You know what I mean?
I like it. It'd be a much more efficient way of working in that area, like as a transfer reporter.
Speaking of conspiracy theories, though, I'd like to proffer one for everyone. You guys...
Where is this going to go? Right.
Well, you guys... you know it's going to be accusatory when it's you guys. You had a succession of stories that dropped in possibly the most hectic news cycle period in footballing history. The Messi leaving, the Super League, a succession of scandals, Sepp Blatter, and all the rest of this sort of stuff. You guys seem to have been just there and able to cover it in the kind of detail, which, by the way, is how I got introduced to you guys. It was the classic thing. I was watching a Simon. God, I'm glad I forgot his name, but you know who I'm talking about. And I was looking for something else, found you guys talking about the Super League, and it was like a breath of fresh air. But then it got me thinking. You guys seem to be pretty quick off the mark when these stories drop. So my question is, are you guys responsible for all of these stories? Is that why you're so quick off the mark and why you cover them so thoroughly? Is that what happens here?
Is the question really, was I behind the attempt to create any European Super League?
Look, I'm just saying, yes. Alex is all about burning it down. JJ wasn't with you guys full time at the time, and Joe seems more intent on just asking the question of, is it even a proper thing to do a Super League? You are the only one who had the opportunity, method, and motive to start a Super League, at least in theory. So I'm holding you to task on this one, Seb. Are you the one responsible? And if so, can I cut myself in on that deal?
Well, also, another thing that's not in my favour is that if any member of the TIFO team was to be responsible for the crap branding, it would have been me. Right? So, I don't know, I can't confirm or deny law, and it's just not. This is not the time or the place for this conversation. You don't strike deals like that in public.
My first time in investigative journalism, and I fail because I ask him, did he do it, yes or no, and he just says no, and I'm just gonna have to take it on faith. Okay, I believe you. It's fine.
Yeah, it was a little bit like All the President's Men there, but only a little bit.
The reason the video did so well, and this is entirely to your guys' credit, is that you guys have cultivated not only a wonderful channel, and the premise of which I couldn't be happier that you guys approach it from this perspective from, but also the fact that your fans and the people that follow you guys, generally speaking, at least based on the comments and based on the things that you guys feed back with, they're just it's a weird little haven for sane people in football fandom. It's very odd.
It's really nice. Well, I'm sure we'll talk about this more, but there's just a lot of nice people out there, which I suppose you don't really associate with football world. But our little nook within it is full of really kind people and really appreciative people, and it's lovely. It's a really nice thing to be part of, actually.
I think that's again a lot of, especially because going in preparing for the conversation, I went back to the sort of not. Original is the wrong word, but these are the ones that appeared on the Athletic originally, where you guys would be in the office, and it would be the sort of just at the most it'd be the three of you kind of going backwards and forwards, and the fact that you guys, And I was listening to Simon Jordan a lot at the time and rolling my eyes and thinking, God, man, is it impossible to go a day where we don't make the news story that happens to be running that day not the most important thing that's literally ever happened? And then you guys rock up. And even Joe, who is probably the one who is the most inclined to go, yes, but can we go sensational just a little bit? Even he is the one in podcast going, right, but we must stress this point first. We don't actually know this. We have to respect, the journalistic perspective of this, which is that we don't. Even he does that. It's such a rarity in football coverage. It genuinely is. Even like fucking hell,
I agree with
Alan Shearer is making goddamn song references on Match of the Day to try and, hey, TikTokers, see, I did a funny thing. Will you make it play 17 times now? Whereas you guys just seem to be in your own little bubble, and you have mastered that bubble. You know what I mean?